G'day folks, I'm here with Rob Tyson, who's the head distiller at the Old Kempton Distillery here in Tasmania. Rob, thanks for having us here today.
Pleasure having you.
Yeah, look, really excited. Exit Advisory Group is working with Old Kempton Distillery here. We've had a barrel that's matured over a couple of years and we've finally had it bottled, and it's been a very exciting process for us all. But Rob, really appreciate your time. Was hoping to ask a couple of quick questions to share with our audience. So, mate, you've got an enormous amount of experience in this industry. What goes into making a good whiskey?
Well, we were founded on the idea that if you match passionate people with high quality ingredients, then you're going to get good outcomes. So here at Old Kempton, we take time in making sure we bring in the right staff, staff who have the experience, but more importantly, staff who have the passion. So we're comfortable that we can teach staff what they need to know. And then from there, it's about making those little 1% decisions to make sure that what comes out at the end is the best it can be. So on the surface, single malt whiskey is incredibly simple. You've got malted barley, water and yeast. You brew it, you distill it, and you leave it in a barrel for X years. So any of the small differences in those 1%ers, they are what makes the difference between, at the end of the day, having a good whiskey and having a great whiskey.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, just walking through the different varieties, and it looks like you guys are constantly bringing out new versions of whiskey. So it seems to me like there's a lot of trial and error and experimentation that goes on.
Yeah, within reason. So we're kind of set up to produce Old Kempton house style. So we do that for 48 weeks a year. 48 weeks a year, we're making Old Kempton house style. So that's a tried and tested recipe. It's based on a approach to making whiskey that goes back hundreds of years. But then we have a certain amount of weeks a year where myself and Nick, are the distiller, we're allowed to take the gloves off, we're allowed to kind of have a bit more of a play around. So often you'll find that's what we talk about, because they're the learnings, they're the things that are keeping us excited. So for example, earlier we were talking about using Narasota, Australian barley, growing up in the UK and a heritage strain. So bringing in those kind of heirloom strains and what they bring, and seeing how that differs from the barley that we're using from Tasmania.
Yeah, so tried and tested process, but you get to experiment a little bit with some of the sort of ingredients or...
Yeah, absolutely. So for us, Tasmania is a big part of who we are. So Tasmanian barley is the cornerstone of where that comes from. Yeah. So for 48 weeks a year, Tasmanian barley is who we are. And we can point to the farms that it comes from, the malta it comes through, and we know that the quality's there and the style that's there that makes Old Kempton what it is. Yeah. But then for a certain amount of runs a year, we want to make sure that we know what it is that the Tasmanian barley brings to it. So we look at what happens if you use different barleys, if you're using a heritage strain, if you're using a UK strain, or anything different like that. And of course, barley is just one part of that program, so yeast is another important aspect, as are casks.
Yeah, nice. It strikes me that time is also an important ingredient into this process. How do you, as really the head distiller and expert in this field, how do you determine when the time is right for any particular barrel or batch?
Yeah, so patience is integral, but also at the end of the day, what we're trying to create is something that is enjoyable to drink. We want to create something that people are going to want to sit down and share with their friends, share with their family, and just enjoy. So one aspect, that's really easy, because we go, what do we enjoy? Is this a whiskey that we enjoy drinking? On the other hand, we are filling casks that we're not intending to release well into the 2030s. So there's always planning ahead, making sure that what we're doing now is making life as easy as possible for the people who either come after me, or if I'm still here into the 2030s, then I want to make sure the whiskey that's coming through our casks is as good as possible.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, look, everything we've tried today has been absolutely amazing, mate. We really appreciate your time, and thank you for having us here.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Cheers.